The Zephyrian High Command had studied human military doctrine for 3 standard cycles before declaring war. Their analysts had pored over every historical conflict, from the primitive tribal skirmishes to the devastating world wars of the Iao early atomic age. The conclusion was unanimous. Humans fought wars of gradual escalation, trading lives and resources in measured exchanges, until one side exhausted the other. They are creatures of attrition, War Coordinator Vexhai had declared to the assembled fleet commanders. They grind their enemies down slowly like water-wearing stone. We will match this pace, but with superior technology and numbers. Victory is mathematically certain. The Zephyrians had built their entire war machine around this principle. Their fleets were designed for prolonged engagement, their supply lines optimized for steady resource flow, their battle doctrines centered on gradual territorial gains. They would bleed humanity dry over decades, claiming system after system until the stubborn species finally submitted to Zephyrian rule. What they failed to understand was that humans had evolved beyond their history. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Prometheus, watching the first Zephyrian probe fleets enter the Kepler system. The aliens moved with methodical precision, establishing forward bases on the outer moons, setting up supply depots, preparing for what they clearly believed would be a long, grinding campaign. "They're playing checkers," Chen murmured to her tactical officer. "We're about to show them chess." The human response came not in waves, but as a single, overwhelming tsunami of violence that defied every projection in the Zephyrian war computers. While the aliens established their first beachhead, humanity activated protocols that had been prepared in absolute secrecy for 20 years. Project Damocles wasn't a weapon. It was the complete militarization of human civilization in under 72 hours. Every asteroid mining station became a weapons platform. Every cargo hauler was retrofitted with experimental weaponry that pushed the boundaries of physics. Every colonial world transformed into a fortress, bristling with defensive systems that could crack moons in half. Most terrifyingly of all, every human became a soldier in a war machine that operated on principles the Zephyrians couldn't comprehend. The attack began simultaneously across 47 star systems. War Coordinator Vexhai watched in growing horror as his carefully planned advance crumbled within hours. Human fleets appeared from nowhere, not through hyperspace jumps, but literally materializing from what his sensors insisted was empty void. Ships that shouldn't exist according to any known technology tore through Zephyrian formations with weapons that seemed to violate causality itself. "Status report," Vexhai demanded, his forearms gesturing frantically at the tactical displays. "All forward positions under attack," his aide stammered. "The humans aren't following standard engagement protocols. They're not trying to capture our bases. They're erasing them from existence." It was true. Where Zephyrian doctrine called for gradual occupation and resource extraction, humans simply deleted everything in their path. Entire asteroid fields vanished in cascades of exotic matter. Moons were converted into pure energy and redirected as weapons. The humans weren't fighting a war. They were performing cosmic surgery with the precision of a scalpel and the force of a supernova. But the true horror wasn't in their weapons. It was in their coordination. Every human in the galaxy moved as if controlled by a single mind. There were no communication delays, no hesitation, no confusion. When a human fleet commander on the far side of the galaxy made a tactical decision, every other human force adjusted their strategies instantly, creating a web of synchronized destruction that spanned light years. Admiral Chen felt the flow of information through the neural link that connected every human consciousness in the war effort. Not control, that would have been tyranny. Instead, it was perfect communication, every human mind contributing to a collective understanding that turned their entire species into a single, galaxy-spanning predator. "The Zephyrians expected us to fight like our ancestors," she said, her words reaching every human soldier simultaneously. "They don't understand what we've become." The war lasted exactly 96 hours. In those 4 days, humanity didn't just defeat the Zephyrian Empire. They erased it so completely that future archaeologists would struggle to prove it had ever existed. Every Zephyrian world, every station, every ship was reduced to its component atoms and scattered across interstellar space, not out of cruelty, but out of pure, clinical efficiency. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as humanity demonstrated that they had transcended the traditional concepts of warfare entirely. They didn't fight wars of attrition because they didn't fight wars at all. They performed executions on a cosmic scale. When it was over, Admiral Chen transmitted a single message to the remaining galactic civilizations. Humanity does not wage war. We solve problems. Any species that becomes a problem will be solved with the same efficiency as the Zephyrians. We recommend peaceful coexistence. War Coordinator Vexhai, now the last surviving member of his species, drifted in an escape pod toward the edge of known space. His final transmission would become a legend whispered in the darkest corners of the galaxy. We planned for their past. They brought their future. Never again provoke the humans. They do not fight wars, they end them. The pod's life support would fail in 3 days, but Vexhai's warning would echo through the cosmos for millennia, ensuring that no species would ever again mistake humanity's capacity for peace as a weakness. In the silence that followed, humanity returned to their colonies, their trade routes, their quiet exploration of the stars. But every alien civilization now understood a fundamental truth. Humans didn't fight wars of attrition because they had evolved something far more terrifying: the ability to wage wars of absolute conclusion. The Zephyrians had planned for a war. Humanity had prepared for victory. The difference had made all the difference.